this morning, ladies and gentlemen, our speaker is a public relations specialist of the ASEAN Center for Biodiversity. Let us all help me welcome our speaker for Asian Center for Biodiversity, Ms. Niña Calleja.
Thank you, Ray, for the introduction. And magandang umaga sa ating lahat. We are very grateful for this opportunity to share with you what we do at the ASEAN Center for Biodiversity and to stress how important our rich biodiversity in the region. But what really is biodiversity? So this is the long definition of biodiversity under the Convention on Biological Diversity. So this is the variability among living organisms from all sources, including terrestrial, marine, and aquatic ecosystems, and the ecological complexes of which they are part. But basically, to put it simply, biodiversity is the richness of life around us. So just a bit of history. Biodiversity was coined just in 1985 by Walter Rosen during when he was organizing a forum in the US. So biodiversity is a contraction of biological and diversity. Bio means life, and diversity means variety and variability. As you have seen in the videos, biodiversity comes with a lot of ecosystem services. These are the benefits that we gain from a healthy and well-functioning ecosystem. An ecosystem is a community of living organisms interacting with the physical environment. Next slide. So as you can see, daing, so this is our food. Maybe you had daing earlier in your breakfast. And we also relax and rest around nature. It serves as our protection. This one is, this photograph is in Leyte. So this is a mangrove which protected the people of Leyte from storm surges. And also it provides supporting services, habitats for our fish and for our marine species. So you don't need to look far to see this, to see the rich biodiversity of the ASEAN region. Just a short walk from here, you'll see the ocean teeming with aquatic species. I saw, yesterday I saw signage where the hotel is advertising what are the marine species that you can find in the ocean. One is the sea urchin, jellyfish, starfish, hermit crab, sea turtle, dolphins, crab. And just a few meters, there's dolho, your mangroves or bacao, that serves as a sanctuary for baby fishes and aquatic species. And as we all know, Bohol is known for its tarsier conservation program. And the LGUs are also active in integrating biodiversity conservation into their tourism program. So, ASEAN region is a biodiversity powerhouse. I will tell you a bit about it. But let's have a short quiz. Let's check if you're listening earlier. I have prizes here. So, can you name at least 3 member states of the ASEAN region? Okay, one maybe? Okay, the guy in gray. At least 3, or you can name 10 if you can.
Cambodia, Laos, PDR, and then Brunei Darussalam.
Okay, very good. Very good. You're listening earlier. Okay. So. Alright, so ASEAN region, this is composed of Brunei, Darussalam, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos PDR, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. But based on the image, why do you think ASEAN is a biodiversity powerhouse? Next. So the ASEAN covers only 3% of the Earth's surface area. We're very small in size. But we are home to 18% of all known plants and animals in the world. And the ASEAN region has the 173,000 kilometers of shorelines. So we have a lot of coasts. So if we are to measure wealth based on biodiversity, we are one of the world's richest. So mayaman tayo. And in terms of marine biodiversity, the ASEAN region is also thriving. It carries 30% of the world's coral reefs, 35% mangroves, and 3% of seagrass. These are the three key ecosystems in marine biodiversity. Let's go to the Philippines, where we are. The Philippines plays an important role in the region's biodiversity conservation. It is one of the 18 megadiverse countries in the world. It ranks 5th in the number of plant species, and it has 30,000 square kilometers of coral reefs. That's a lot. And it has approximately 1,170 square kilometers of mangroves. So the Philippines is also one of the world's biodiversity hotspots with at least 700 threatened species, thus making it one of the top global conservation areas. All right, next slide. But we have problems. However, the rate by which the ASEAN region is losing its biodiversity is alarming. Southeast Asian countries had lost 500,000 square kilometers of forest in a span of 27 years between 1980 and 2007. This is because of the population depends on timber, fuel, wood, and other forest products. And we also have converted our forests into agricultural lands and industrial lands. As a response to the threat of biodiversity loss, the ASEAN Center for Biodiversity was created. So ACB is actually a byproduct of the cooperation in the ASEAN region. So in 2005, through an agreement signed by all 10 ASEAN member states, we were created. Our mandate is to facilitate cooperation and coordination among the 10 ASEAN member states. Another valid question is, why is regional cooperation important? Why all 10 ASEAN member states have to come together for biodiversity conservation? One simple answer to this is because species do not recognize national boundaries. Protection of species is a responsibility of everyone. I'll give you an example, migratory birds. Next slide. So the ASEAN is part of the East Asian Australasian Flyway. So you can see this in the red lines. There. So that is actually the highway of 50 million migrating birds all over the world. And these birds are actually under threat because of the destruction of wetlands in the ASEAN region. And so we need to come together to protect these habitats, the birds and their habitats. And thus, the ACB facilitated the creation of the ASEAN Flyway Network. So this is composed of all ASEAN member states led by Singapore. This network aims to protect migratory water birds and their habitats. Next slide. So we have seen how all ASEAN member states have come together. We've seen the results. And the ASEAN Center for Biodiversity is ensuring the cooperation among all these members. One is the campaign against plastic pollution. So the ASEAN as a region recognizes that Plastic pollution is a regional issue. And the plastic, for example, the plastic that we throw from here can go to the Pacific Ocean. And 90% of the seabirds have plastics in their guts. So just imagine. Next slide. I think the previous slide. With the ASEAN Bangkok Declaration. Yeah, okay. This is, so all 10 member states came together to sign this Bangkok Declaration. They came up with one stand against plastic pollution. And so one of the commitments of the ASEAN is to create national laws and regulation against plastic pollution. Okay, next slide. So the ASEAN has also adopted green and eco-friendly practices. So we banned plastic bottles, straws, and plastic cups. Yeah. Next slide. So ACB is also the secretariat of the ASEAN Heritage Parks Program. So this is one of the flagship initiatives of the ASEAN. It was established to recognize national parks and nature reserves with outstanding wilderness and biodiversities that represent the ASEAN region. Currently, we have 49 ASEAN heritage parks, and the Philippines has 9. So the program provides opportunities to strengthen regional connectivity and cooperation among the ASEAN member states. Next slide. So, the ASEAN program is supported by two projects. One is funded by the European Union, which is the Biodiversity Conservation and Management Protected Areas, or BCAM. The other one is the Small Grants Program, which is supported by Germany. Next slide. So the ACD is also promoting nature-based solution in addressing climate change. Trees serve as carbon sinks, meaning they absorb carbon from the atmosphere, thus reducing the global warming. Mangroves, on the other hand, cushion the impacts of storm surges and strong waves. Next slide. So this is a picture of a mangrove restoration activity in Thailand. Next slide. So the center also engages the youth through the ASEAN Youth Biodiversity Program through capacity building, mentorship, and resources. We also conduct internships in the ASEAN Heritage Parks. We also have a clearinghouse mechanism. So just like a clearinghouse, so we sort out information in a clearinghouse. So we have a database that provides species and protected area related information from the ASEAN member states. So this helps us in our conservation program. Next slide. So more importantly, our communication, education, and public awareness campaigns. So it takes awareness and knowledge for individuals and groups to act and protect biodiversity. At the core of our work at the center is our SEPA campaign. So in our campaigns, we hope to transform the mindset, the attitudes, and the actions of the people towards biodiversity. One of our campaigns, next slide please, is the Zooming In on Biodiversity. It's a photo contest. So we invited all the nature enthusiasts and photographers to participate in our photo contest. So this is the result. These are the winners. So you can see it there. Beautiful, right? The next one, yeah. So just last month we launched an art and biodiversity exhibit featuring Samantha. She's a young artist diagnosed with autism. She draws inspiration from nature, and so most of her work speaks about how rich biodiversity in the region is. That's our executive director, Dr. Teresa Munitalim, giving interviews to the media. So in closing, let me just summarize the key messages I want to share. We in the ASEAN is so fortunate and blessed to be surrounded by beauty and richness of life. But all of us have the responsibility to take care of it. The ASEAN Center for Biodiversity cannot do it alone. We need your active participation, the cooperation of all ASEAN member states, and other international organizations. We have so much things to learn, discover, and so much grounds to cover and protect, including, of course, Bohol, our love Bohol, and so many people to reach. We hope the people of Bohol are with us in our work. Thank you and have a good day.